All right, at this point, we all kind of know that the Freemasons run the world, but no one really knows exactly what they're doing, like what goes on in these secret little spaces where they're all meeting. Well, that changes today because this guy who goes by the name Kyle is Based or Kyle Undercover snuck in to a Freemason ritual and recorded the whole thing. And let me tell you, this shit is weird. And just to be clear, like, this isn't just some weekend thing that he like snuck in the back door. He had to embed himself, befriend people who were Freemasons, gain their trust over years.
You have passed too low. Me you cannot pass. Give me the secrets of a master mason instantly, or I will take your life. I will not.
He had to go through this same ceremony that you're about to watch himself before he was able to be on the other side and record it happening to someone else. In this video today, we're going to look at the entire hidden camera recording of this secret Freemason ritual and then this ceremony that takes place after. We're also going to hear from Kyle himself, who spoke about this on a podcast, and he's going to kind of break down each bit for us as well. And at the very end, we are going to hear from a 33rd degree Freemason who contacted me directly. I'm going to read his message from start to finish, which he has given me permission to share with you guys. So with that being said, welcome to Polarity. My name is Josh. We dig into the phenomenon here basically every single day, normally in a live show, but we also do these kind of videos as well. So if this sounds like your kind of jam, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Hit the bell notification as well, because apparently YouTube isn't letting you guys know when I'm uploading. So make sure you do that, and that way you won't miss a thing.
Eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
So this is Kyle here, the guy that you can see on the right-hand side, and this isn't the first time that he's done this. Like, this guy's thing online is going undercover and exposing people who are doing illegal things, hidden underground networks, and all of this kind of stuff. So this isn't his first rodeo, but check this out. I'm going to let him kind of explain how he got into this and what it's all about.
So it was actually several years back, probably about 5-6 years ago. I was researching into the evil stuff that seems to be controlling the world nowadays. And I was looking into Judaism. I was looking into Freemasonry. I was looking into all these like occult groups. I decided to reach out, do some research. I found there's a local lodge right down the road from me. And I reached out to them. I let them know that I was interested in joining. And after sitting with them and meeting with them, I had to basically befriend these group of guys until they would invite me into their little club that they had, their fraternity. After about 2 years of sitting down with them and having dinner with them every single week and getting to know them, they voted me in. They have to do a unanimous vote. They voted me into Freemasonry. So I had to go through these rituals, and I think I was a little bit over my head to begin with. I think I wasn't ready to really expose them to the highest degree, at least right away, because I was so young. But after about 6 years, I finally grew a big enough following where I could post this footage and go undercover, and I decided to do it. So after 5 years, I loaded up my hidden camera, set it all up. I went into the lodge and recorded their highest degree ceremony.
So you literally posed as someone who wanted to be a Freemason, but the entire time your heart wasn't on it. Like you had a mission.
Yeah, that's right.
So
and,
was there ever?
I wasn't baptized at all. After going through all of this, I realized I'm like, I have to get baptized. This just still doesn't sit right with me that I went through all this and I'm not baptized. And I got baptized and go to church every Sunday. I leave that in the past now.
And for anyone who's maybe new to this topic or wondering like why he's talking about being baptized, it's because a lot of this stuff is dark. I mean, they don't directly talk about worshiping Lucifer, at least not at these levels, but like you're going to see it's strange, it's weird, and it feels like it's on the dark side of things.
Like, so when you were going through it, did you ever think in your mind, like, this might be it? Or the entire time you knew it wasn't it?
No, I knew it was never it. I knew that, of course, I always believed in God. I always knew God was the supreme being of our planet, whereas the Freemasons say that there's another supreme architect, and as they start to get into Satanism, it's a whole...
Wow.
A lot of times in the lower levels of Masonry, they don't really get too in-depth into who the supreme architect is, but as you get higher through the levels, you start to kind of unlock some of the secrets, and you realize that it is Satan. Baphomet. They have the upside down star. They have the Jewish stars on the wall. It's crazy stuff in there.
What degree did you get to?
So the way that the degree system works in Freemasonry, a lot of people think that the 33rd degree is like the highest degree. But the way it works, it's kind of a tiered system. So it starts out with the first, second, and third degree. The third degree is actually considered the highest degree in Freemasonry. And after the third degree, you can choose to go to different sects of Freemasonry, like the York Rite or the Scottish Rite.
I've heard about that, yeah.
Most people decide to go to the Scottish Rite, which gets you from the third degree to the 33rd degree. All they say that knowledge is it fills the gaps between the first, second, and third degree. So it's kind of you're not lateral, it's just filling in those little gaps between the first, second, and third. Blood rituals, you have to drink blood out of an actual human skull when you go into the 33rd degree or 32nd degree. So, I mean, that stuff's real. It's common knowledge. It's out there. You can read all these scripts. Some of the stuff I discovered or I filmed, it may have been known by tons of people, because that was kind of my main complaint, is everyone's like, yeah, Kyle, you didn't expose anything. Everyone knew this. Well, nobody's actually gotten high quality camera footage of these rituals.
I know that stuff sounds absolutely crazy, but like I said, I've got a long message that was written to me with proof as well, which I might be able to show some of the proof that was provided to me whilst also respecting their privacy. That the stuff that he is saying there about what goes on and what it's like at the higher levels of Freemasonry is real. This shit is real. Now, this hidden camera footage is broken up into 4 parts. The first 3 parts are kind of like the ritual, and then the 4th part is the ceremony. And what we can see here is like an illustration. There's lots of illustrations here that kind of depict the story that the ritual seems to be a mock representation of. Like they're playing out this story that we can see here. And Kyle does a really good job of kind of explaining what this is and who the characters are in it, because you hear them referencing it in the hidden camera footage. Check this out.
It's pretty hard to get to 33rd degree. So just to explain the structure a little bit, first, second, and third degree can be obtained in about 2 years. But after that, from 3rd degree to 32nd degree, you can obtain that in 1 weekend. It's a little weekend retreat they invite you to. You do all the degree work in basically 2 days. You put on a little play for each degree. The 3rd degree that we're going to be watching today is essentially just a play. They're replicating what they consider the original Freemason. But then after 32nd degree, you have to have a life-changing event, they call it, to become a 33rd degree. So really? What that life-changing event is, it's kind of up to people's discretion, because I've heard some people say they have to donate a lot of money to Freemasonry. They have to convince a lot of people to join Freemasonry. Some people say that there's murder involved, rape, tons of other stuff that's involved.
Like something like dramatic, has to be done. If you were to explain to the people who don't know what Freemasonry is, like what is it? Like what is Freemasonry?
The way that I describe it is, you take something pure like going to a Christian church or a Catholic mass, and you see that they're celebrating God, they're celebrating Jesus. And the way that I look at Freemasonry is it's the antithesis to that. It's basically they're mocking Christianity. So they have lots of little symbols throughout all of the degree work that you do in Freemasonry that mock the Holy Trinity, that mock Jesus, that mock God. It's basically their way of practicing Satanism in a ritualistic sense.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
They have deacons. They call the lodge leader, they call them worshipful master. They have tilers. They have like a guard that actually stands outside of the lodge with a sword, so that if anybody tries to run out or run in, there's a guy literally just sitting in a chair with a sword, and they call him a tiler. So everything has to be done orderly. So to leave the lodge, you have to knock 3 times on the door for them to kind of let you out of the door. And it's all done in a ritualistic sense. So if anything goes out of order, the tiler kind of intervenes and says, hey, you guys aren't doing this correctly.
What the heck, man?
So this is somebody entering the 3rd degree of Freemasonry. So he's...
By the way, guys, this podcast that Kyle is speaking on, I'll make sure I leave this link below if you want to go check out the whole thing after this, which I highly recommend. But this here, these are the depictions of the ritual that you're about to watch, okay? They kind of reenact what is going on here.
Becoming officially a Freemason. So the initiate is blindfolded. He doesn't know anything that's going on. This is completely new to him. He hasn't seen anything like this in the 1st and 2nd degree. This is kind of the first time he's starting to see the ritual aspect of Freemasonry. And he's blindfolded. He's basically playing the part of a man named Hiram Abiff, who is well known in Freemasonry. It's kind of the original Freemason. I know that there's talks about him in the Jewish Talmud, but I'm not too sure on where the story actually comes from.
All right, so there's a little bit of context for you guys to just kind of wrap your head around what Freemasonry is and what is actually going on here. This is broken down into 4 parts. Like I said, the first 3 are the ritual, and then it's the ceremony. So let's get into it.
Out at the east gate. secrets of a master mason, or I will take your life.
This is no time or place to demand no secrets.
Talk not to me about time, place, patience, or the completion of the temple. Give me the secrets of a master mason, or I will take your life.
It behooves you in this rude and violent manner thus to demand no secrets. When the temple's complete, if found worthy, you'll then receive them lawfully as I have.
You have passed Jubilo. Me you cannot pass. My name is Jubilum, well known for my determination of character. What I undertake, that I do. Give me the secrets of a master mason instantly, or I will take your life.
I will not.
What? Still persist? Then die.
What horrid deed is this? Who has slain the Grandmaster Hiram Abiff?
This is no time for reflection. What shall we do with the body?
We will bury the rubbish in the temple in the low cell. You three will meet again and discuss what to do with it.
Agreed.
So you can hear them shoveling. You can hear them shoveling like they're burying something. I'm going to let Kyle give a bit more detail on exactly what we just watched there, but I just want to say, like, they're like LARPing. This is like a role play, and they actually remind me of, I don't know if anyone remembers Onyx the Fortuitous.
I'm just excited to see my Lord and Savior Baphomet represented in such glorious Italian stone. Part of me wishes that angel statue would come to life, and King Baphomet would rise, and two eternal juggernauts would do battle right here in the middle of the city. But for what is this battle raging, you ask? I don't know.
That guy belongs in here.
Want to explain like what just happened?
Yeah, so basically what you're seeing is the initiate is basically playing the role of Hiram Abiff. This initiate blindfolded, and he's being led around the room, and there's essentially these people saying, give me the secrets of a master mason or I will take your life.
Yeah.
And when he says no, they strike him in the head with a hammer. It's a mock execution, and they push him down into this canvas where they carry his dead body around. And it's basically his reward for not giving away the secrets is to become reborn again as a Freemason. So it's essentially a Masonic baptism. That's why I say it's really a mockery of Christianity as a whole. And they carry him around the room. What they do is they put him in the corner of the room and they throw sandbags on top of him. So it's to make him feel like he's being buried in a shallow grave. And they actually have a bucket with dirt and a shovel, and somebody's actually shoveling the dirt while they're
That's what we could hear.
the sandbags. So it's all part of the ritual. Yep.
A Freemasonic baptism, being like born again into Freemasonry. And did you go through this, Kyle? You went through this?
I did, yeah.
Wow, man, that's crazy. What were you thinking when you went through it? Like when you were going through it?
You know, I prepared, so I looked online, so I knew exactly what was coming. So the whole time that this stuff was happening, I was professing my faith in Jesus Christ. And then, like I said, I felt like after I did it, I was a little bit over my head. That's why I decided to get baptized and go through.
like fully surrender to Christ. Amen.
Exactly.
Damn, I mean, you got to respect this guy's commitment to the cause. Like, everything that we're watching, he went through this. He went through this, and it took him years to even get to that point, to be in a position to be invited in to do that. And the whole time, Kyle is just playing the long game to try and expose these people. And they threatened him. He's had death threats and has been intimidated, and we'll get to them after we get to the ritual. But man, I mean, you gotta admire the commitment. So this is part 2 now. This is the next part after they've just buried this person in this tarp, and it seems like they're carrying him around the room. Whether you're skipping your way down the Silk Road or trying to work out why it seems like the same group of people are behind every single conspiracy, you want to make sure you're using Proton VPN. As one of the most safest and trusted brands when it comes to internet security, Proton will protect your IP address in over 110 countries with a super fast and reliable connection. But the best thing about Proton Unlimited isn't just the VPN, it's not the end-to-end encrypted email, the 500 gigabytes of cloud storage. It's the fact that it's easy to use and it's all in one. You don't have to have a VPN with one company, your cloud storage with another. It's all together in one hub. This is like an internet privacy suite that can be accessed from the one place. And that's why I decided to partner with Proton, because they are at the top of their game. They are the best of the best, and they are going to offer you guys 23% off their Proton Unlimited suite. If you go to the link proton.me/polarity, you can make the most of this and you can support the channel and protect yourself online at the same time. That's proton.me/polarity. The link will be down in the description below.
Now what shall we do?
Let us make our escape out of the kingdom.
Seafaring man.
Let us hail thee.
Hail, Captain, hail.
Hello.
Is that your ship yonder?
It is.
Whither are you bound?
To Ethiopia.
Do you take passengers?
I do.
Will you take us?
I will, if you have King Solomon's pass.
We have no pass, but we have money, and we will pay you your demands.
Then you cannot go, for I have strict orders not to take workmen from the temple out of the country unless express permission from King Solomon.
What shall we do?
Let us turn back into the country.
Agreed.
This guy's doing like artificial stomping on the way out, like intentionally making his steps louder.
Most excellent King Solomon, the Grand Master Hammerbeth is missing. Missing? How do you know to be missing? You seen the Grand Master Hammerbeth? You seen the Grand Master Hammerbeth? Have you? Have you seen it?
No.
Have you seen the Grand Master Hammerbeth? Hail, brothers!
Hail, brother.
What discoveries have you made?
The earth has been recently removed. It has the appearance of a grave.
What causes confusion among the craft? Most excellent King Solomon, with all crafts have returned. All crafts.
The body of the Grand Master Hiram V.
And go with me to raise the body of the Grand Master Hammerbeth.
Solemn strides to the funeral time, notes of our departing time, as we journey here below, through a pilgrimage of woe. Mortals now indulge a tear, for mortality is here. See how wide her trophies wave o'er the slumbers of the grave. Here another guest we bring, seraphs of celestial wing. To our funeral altar come, walk our friend and brother home. Lord of all, below, above, fill our souls with truth and love. As dissolves our earthly tie, take us to thy lodge on high.
What the hell is actually going on? This is so weird. And also, like, when the camera is panning around and looking at some of these people, like, you know, obviously it's not these specific people that run the world, but like, these people look like medieval virgin LARPers. I mean, that is what they're doing. It's just so, this is so strange to me. Anyway, I'll let Kyle explain what exactly we just saw happen there.
You listen to the words very closely. They're talking about as above, so below. They believe that they're entering another realm while they're saying this prayer.
Wow, bro. Would you feel like cringe in there, bro? Would you feel off when you were in the Freemason?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Anytime they say the word God, they actually bow their head down in shame. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, this is the last part of the ritual before they do the ceremony, and this is where they start getting into like the secret handshakes and passwords that the Masons use.
Oh Lord my God, oh Lord my God, oh Lord my God, is there no help for the widow's son?
Brother Havertar, you will raise the body by the grip of an inner French mason.
Most excellent King Solomon, the body cannot be so raised, owing to its advanced state of decomposition, it having been dead 15 days. Skin slips from the flesh.
Then you will endeavor to raise the body by the true grip of a fellow craft.
Most excellent King Solomon, for like reasons before, the body cannot be thus raised. The flesh cleaves from the bone.
Brother Havertar, what shall we do?
Let us pray.
Brethren, let us pray.
O God, knowest our down sittings and our uprisings, and understandest our thoughts afar off. Shield and defend us from the evil intentions of our enemies, and support us under the trials and afflictions which we are destined to endure while traveling through this vale of tears. Man that is born of woman is of few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth as a flower and is cut down. He fleeth as well as a shadow and continued not. Seeing that his days are determined, the number of his months is with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish his day. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch therefore will not cease. But man dieth and wasteth away, yea, man giveth up the ghost, and where is he? As the waters fail from the sea, and the flood decayeth and drieth up, so man lieth down and riseth not up till the heavens shall be no more. Yet, O Lord, have compassion on the children of thy creation, and minister them comfort in the time of trouble, and save them with everlasting salvation. Amen.
So be. Brother Havertar, my mind is now clear. Although the skin slips from the flesh and the flesh cleaves from the bone, there is yet still strength in the lion of the tribe of Judah. The body shall be raised on the 5 points of fellowship, and the first words spoken or uttered after the body is raised will be the substitute for the ancient master's word until the future generations discover the right.
They connect the 5 points of their body and whisper the secret password, Maha Bone. Looks like he's giving him a little kiss on the ear.
The true grip of the Master Mason. Instead, the body of the Grandmaster behind the death was raised from
Okay, so you can see, okay, this is what's coming up next. This is where it gets really strange because this is the ceremony, okay? But just back on like this part here, you know, Kyle said earlier that at the first and second degree, you don't get exposed to anything like this. Like there's no ritual, there's nothing like this. This is to get into the highest degree, which is the third degree. And this is the first time you do something like this. And I just can't help but wonder if like someone goes through the first and second and then all of a sudden gets put through this, having never seen anything like it before. After he just got lifted up after being executed in this ceremony, surely some of them are thinking, what the fuck is going on? Why are we LARPing? I don't know. Kyle's going to give a little bit more information just on like the handshakes and the passwords and that, because it's actually really interesting. And then we're going to look at this weird ceremony at the end.
My first degree Mason, then you got to show the password. So the third degree is the one that's most commonly used that you'll see famous Freemasons doing. So I kind of studied all the Freemason groups in Arizona, which is where I live. And there's some baseball players, some Arizona Diamondbacks players that are Freemasons. There's a lot of judges that are Freemasons. And that's a lot of the times how you see Freemasons get out of jail free, because they say these code words while they're on trial and they get recognized by the judge, who gives them a lesser sentence. If you notice, every Freemason lodge for the most part is always located next to a police station or a city courthouse building. That's just strategic in my eyes.
I'm sure there's many Freemason lodges around where I live, but I can only think of one, and it is in a very, very, very close vicinity to a large police station. That's interesting. All right, so this is it. This is a ceremony. This is where it gets dark and weird, and there are layers of clothes being removed, and yeah, I mean, let's just get into it, and then Kyle can give us a bit more details afterwards.
Who comes here?
Brother, who has been regularly initiated and entered apprentice Mason, passed through the degree of fellowcraft, now seek for the light in Masonry by being raised to the sublime degree as the Mason.
Is this of your own free will and accord?
Yes.
Creepy. I mean, nothing that looks like this can be good. Seriously.
You will say I, pronounce your name in full, and in an audible tone of voice, repeat after me. I, of my own free will and accord, in addition to my former obligations, that I will always hail, forever conceal, and never reveal, any of the secret arts, parts, or points, of the hidden mysteries of Freemasonry, appertaining to the degree, of Master Mason, to any person, under the canopy of heaven, except it be, to a true and lawful brother of this degree, or within the body, of a just, and legally constituted lodge, of Master Masons, and neither unto him nor them, till after strict trial, to examination, or lawful information, furthermore, that I will aid and assist, all distressed, worthy brother Master Masons, their widows and orphans, whithersoever dispersed around the globe, that I will keep the secrets, of a brother Master Mason, as my own, when given to me, in charge as such, murder and treason accepted, furthermore, that I will not violate the chastity, of a brother Master Mason's wife, daughter, sister, mother or widow, or suffer the same, to be done by another, furthermore, that I will not give, the grand hailing sign, of this degree, unless I am in real distress, or for instruction, finding myself under no less a penalty, than that of having, my body severed in twain, my bowels taken thence, and burned to ashes, and the ashes cast, to the four winds of heaven, that no more remembrance, may be had of me,
What the hell?
And Masons forever. Among men and Masons forever. God, so help me God, and keep me steadfast. Keep me steadfast. In the due observance of this. In the due observance of this. My solemn obligation. My solemn obligation. As Master Mason. As a Master Mason. Now, tap your hand. On your head. In token of your sincerity, kiss the Holy Bible on which you've been obligated. Brother Senior Warden, release the candidate from the faith, though it being 3 times around his naked body is to signify that he is now bound to fraternity by a threefold tie. Being in a condition of darkness. The Senior Warden assist me in bringing the candidate from darkness to see the light by which Master Masons work. The first objects presented to you being brought from darkness are the 3 great lights of Freemason, as before, with this difference. You now observe both points of the compasses, elevated above the square, which is to teach you that you are now about to receive all the light which can be conferred upon you in the lodge of Master Masons, and that you are not to lose sight of this valuable instrument by which we are taught to circumscribe our desires, keep our passions within due bounds toward all mankind, particularly.
Just the feeling you get when you look at this, it's just like, okay, this is something dark, strange, and not normal. Whatever happened to just like going to church and praying or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, this is just very different. And I just can't help but wonder, like, the people who are being involved in it, like this guy here, who, like I said, this is the first time he's seen anything like this, according to Kyle. As you go up the ranks, this is the first time you have this kind of situation happen around you. Do these people not have moments of like, this feels kind of strange? This isn't your typical baptism. I don't know, man. This shit is weird. I just wanted to mention as well that in the podcast interview here, he says in this video that as a token of your sincerity, kiss the Holy Bible. And in brackets, Kyle added the Jewish Talmud. And he clarified this in that interview, saying that their version of the Holy Bible does not include the New Testament at all, and that it's like a combination of the Jewish Talmud, the Torah, and the Old Testament. Sometimes it's like a variation of those combinations, but he was very specific in that it's never, ever New Testament. Now, like I said, Kyle got death threats and intimidations as soon as he released this footage, which I want to read you, and I want to read you the message I got from a 33rd degree Mason, who's no longer a Mason, by the way, I should add. But just first, in this podcast interview, they actually cover something that you don't see here, which I just think is just equally as dark and crazy, and it just adds to everything that we've just seen, that whatever is going on here is not pure. Okay, I can't think of a better word. It's not pure.
This is a spiritual adoption that Freemasons essentially get to bring these children in. The way that they look at it is it's a child bride. So the child wears a veil, dresses up in sometimes a wedding gown, and usually it's for the boys, but there are instances where they bring girls in also. And each Freemason is assigned their own child, where they walk down to the altar and they do this little ritual with them, and it's essentially they're married spiritually. It's very creepy stuff, yeah. And it's for the higher degrees. This isn't like a requirement. They say they want to help the children. A lot of times these children are foster children. That's kind of the scary part to me, is they're bringing in these already damaged children and they're introducing them to Freemasonry and they're spiritually marrying them. I mean, if that doesn't sound like pedophilia, then I don't know what is.
That is, man. That's exactly what it is. That's crazy. That's sad. So they're going and they're adopting these kids, bringing them in just to spiritually marry them and like kind of like train them up and groom them up to become Freemasons later.
Exactly. So this is called the Daughters of Job. So that's where this part kind of caught me off guard when I heard about this. They essentially bring these children in. This is a Freemasonry for girls. You have to be, I think, between the ages of 9 and 17. But the Freemason ritual for little girls is essentially bondage rope. If you notice, they have these rope tied around their body. they teach them how to tie the ropes. They tie it around their breast, they tie it around their waist, and it's essentially just bondage rope, Japanese bondage rope.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
The Eastern Star is for women and that want to be in Freemasonry when they get older. So you'll see it's basically you graduate from Job's daughter to an Eastern Star. And their main symbol for their group is the pentagram.
So yeah, if this shit wasn't already creepy enough, putting bridal veils on little boys and spiritually marrying them, putting young girls and older women too in like something that resembles shibari kind of tying rope. Even if you're going to try and put this in another context and say, oh, it's not Japanese tying rope, it's nothing like that. You're still tying rope around the breasts of girls who are underage. So don't really care what label you put on it. It's fucking weird.
Freemasons absolutely hate when you say their secret passcodes out loud. They believe them to be extremely sacred and only ever to be said in a low tone of voice.
So let's take a look at some of these death threats and intimidation that Kyle received after posting this video, and then we'll read through the 33rd degree Freemasons message as well. Okay, so here's the first one. He just wrote, Freemason death threats. You guys were more intimidating in the 1800s. And this came to him from an account named Ukraine Kiev Forever. Just looks like a bot account, faceless, 1 follower, 0 posts. And it says, we have your location. We have your complete file and your families and friends' addresses. You have 24 hours to delete the video. Expect consequences. And I am talking about the 4 videos, which are the 4 parts that we just watched. Which, by the way, I'll leave a link to all of the parts in the description below. They were posted on Kyle's X profile, so you can go and check out all of his other work there as well if you want to. This next one says, breaking. After exposing the Freemasons in an undercover video last week, an officer of the court has gone to my family's home and stalked and knocked on their doors in an attempt to issue a cease and desist letter to me. I have also had my car broken into 2 separate times in the same day. I've received 30 plus death threats from other Masons. I'm in the process of retaining a lawyer, filing reports with the police, and will continue to move forward posting their satanic secrets. My freedom of speech will not be taken from me. In case it needs to be said, I would never harm myself. I don't normally ask for help, but I'm going to desperately need it in defeating this agenda. And then this one here says, an anonymous Freemason whistleblower has come forward with an internal memo that was sent to the Masonic Lodge. They are not happy that we have spread their secret Talmudic ceremonies around the world. Keep up the pressure. So someone leaked this to Kyle, who was already within the Freemason Lodge, which is kind of interesting. So this is shared on November 21st, 2023, almost 2 years ago to the day. And it says, subject, X posting of ritual to be shared with the craft. Brethren, one of our members has posted on social media videos of our ritual. This is a breach of trust and a violation of his obligation to the craft. He took an oath and could not keep it. The information he posted is not unknown to the internet. A simple search will find something similar. But his posting did expose him as someone who cannot be trusted more than it has exposed our fraternity. The Grand Lodge is investigating this incident and will act upon the results according to the Arizona Masonic Code and legal advice from the Grand Council. I request that you refrain from spreading any rumors, but if you have direct information about the posting, send it to the Grand Secretary. So this guy absolutely ruffled some feathers here. So this is the 33rd degree Freemason who contacted me. Now, if you've been in the live streams or if you've been watching Polarity for a little while, you might remember who this person is because they basically said this in a super chat and I wasn't sure about them because it's not every day a 33rd degree Freemason watches your channel. And he respectfully hit me up on X, sent me a bunch of things to prove that he was who he was. And I will show you these pictures bigger. I'll overlay them now so you guys can see. I'll redact whatever needs to be redacted. And I'm going to blur out his identity. But if you guys were around, you will remember his name most likely. I think he still watches the show. And he did say in this message that he was okay with me sharing this stuff. But again, just haven't found the right sort of time or moment to do it, but this video seems pretty fitting. So I kind of quizzed him a little bit about who he was and what was going on, and he basically sent me this big sort of about me, about himself and his involvement in the lodges and why he's not involved anymore. He opened it up for me to ask some questions. So I'll read you his first message and we'll kind of go through it together. He says, "Hello Josh, let me start off by saying that I have no issues with you sharing whatever we discuss here with your audience. I'm a member of your channel and a huge fan. I found myself looking forward to each and every one of your episodes with Snooki. I think he means Suki, but that's okay. I believe I'm a weirdo at heart, and I salute you for all the weirdo topics you help to unravel into the world. I served 20 years and retired honorably from the United States military in 2023. During my time in service, I was introduced to the world of Freemasonry through my senior leaders within my battalion's command. At that time, I had no internal knowledge about deep Masonry ran throughout my branch service. Their respect for the fraternity and the values it upheld, so I thought, intrigued me, leading me to explore it further. As a young soldier, I was what some would call high speed. I learned fast and sought out to move through the ranks at a rapid pace of speed, attending many promotion boards, advanced training courses, and Soldier of the Month boards, eventually making my way up to Soldier of the Year. This was around the time I met certain senior leaders who would find interest in me and would ultimately pique my interest in Masonry. Now, this part kind of resonates with me, honestly, like being someone who's called high speed. I get that. And, everything that I've ever done in life, I always want to go progress through the ranks faster and improve and get to the top. I don't know what that is about some people, but I feel that. I feel you, bro. And interestingly, I also can see why Freemasonry would appeal to him, because in a sense, the military, aspects of the military have always appealed to me as well. And that is the brotherhood, the camaraderie. And I feel like from what he's saying here, these are a lot of the things that piqued his interest in Freemasonry, because that is what it is about, really, at the end of the day. It's like a fraternity. It's a bunch of men who look out for each other and will always have your back. And, I think any person can value having those qualities in anyone that they surround themselves with. He continues and says, Masonry, as I come to understand, was much more than just a fraternal organization. It deals deeply with rituals, symbolism, and rites of passage that have been preserved over centuries. These rituals often take place at specific times known as High 12, noon, and Low 12, midnight, which are significant in Masonic tradition. These moments symbolize different stages in a Mason's journey and are tied to the timing of various ceremonies and obligations. A fascinating aspect of Masonry which caught my attention was the use of ciphers and codes, such as the Pigpen cipher. This simple substitution cipher uses symbols to represent letters, serving as a means of secret communication among Masons. The use of such ciphers underscores the importance of privacy, secrecy, and trust within the fraternity, qualities that resonated with my military background. However, beneath its public image lies a darker side that remains hidden from the lower degrees of Masonry and the general public. The concealed aspect has led me to claim and witness firsthand how Masonry harbors immensely evil intentions. Let me just add that in order to advance through certain higher degrees, you have to make a choice that involves soul binding. That is the point of no return. And this sounds exactly like what Kyle mentioned earlier in the video, where he spoke about having to go through a significant kind of life-changing event that can be a whole bunch of different things. An acknowledgement and acceptance must be made that does not involve God nor the Holy Spirit. Figuratively speaking, a deal must be made with something not of this realm, which has 2 legs, 2 arms, scales, and a tail. There is also a royal secret which involves children. Many rituals and symbols are only revealed to members who advance to higher degrees, leaving outsiders and lower degree members unaware of the full scope of its practices. The higher I went, the more I realized its true purposes and nature. However, it is important to note that I am bound by multiple levels of secrecy. Even though I am no longer an active Mason, demented years ago, I no longer belong to any active lodge or chapter. The fraternity demands discretion to protect its traditions and the privacy of its members. It is something that all Masons, active or inactive, must take into consideration. Additionally, as a family man, I must balance my commitments carefully, ensuring that my involvement or reveals in Masonry did not/does not conflict with my responsibilities at home. So basically, he doesn't want to say too much because he wants to protect his family. Ultimately, at least at the beginning, it was not all bad. Becoming a Mason had been a meaningful extension of my life's journey. It had offered me a brotherhood built on principles of service, ideals that aligned closely with my military experience. Please understand that I do not claim to know all the secrets. I only know what I have been taught and have witnessed. While some details of my story must remain confidential, I am open for questions and discussion. And he sent me a photo of himself here below. Now, he did say at the beginning that he was okay with me sharing all of this, and I will share this photo because he didn't specifically say that I couldn't, but I will just blur his face a little bit just because I feel like it's the right thing to do. And underneath that photo, he wrote, "Sublime Prince of the Royal Secret is the 32nd and highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry." So as Kyle mentioned earlier, you can go through different paths. this person went through the Scottish Rite. And when he sent me all of that, I didn't reply for a while because I had a lot going on. And I said, look, I'm going to get back to you with some questions. And he said, yep, no problem. Take your time. And then he went on to say, all good. Feel free to share whatever you want with your audience besides my full name from my documents, if you don't mind. This was around the time, as you can see, end of August, when I was kind of really deeply looking into the satanic ritual abuse stuff, which, you know, from my understanding seems to be kind of closely tied to a lot of this, especially at the higher levels, right? Because it seems like the global elite, a lot of them at least, are partaking in some kind of sick, weird rituals. And a lot of the global elite are also Freemasons. So I decided, look, it's not every day that you get to talk to a 33rd or 32nd degree Freemason. I'm just going to shoot my shot. And I'm not going to hold back on my questions. And I asked him some pretty hectic questions. And I'll read you guys what I wrote him, just so you can see kind of my angle here. But I in no way expected him to reply to this because, I mean, he doesn't owe me anything at the end of the day. But I just thought, hey, why not? Why not just ask and see what we get? This is what I said. Are there links here between Satanism and satanic ritual abuse? What, in your opinion, are the evil intentions behind Freemasonry? Do you believe this evil has a grip on Western society via Freemasonry? Did you take this soul-binding agreement, and what kind of reprisal would there be if it were broken? When you say, figuratively speaking, a deal must be made with something not of this realm, which has 2 legs, 2 arms, scales, and a tail, there is also a royal secret which involves children. What exactly are you referring to here? Can you be more specific with this? Do you regret your time being involved in Freemasonry? Do you believe high-level Masons have a global reach to intervene or interfere with something that was counterproductive to their goals and secrecy, even if it were happening at a government or federal level? Be as specific as you're willing to be with each of these questions, and if you think there is anything else relevant worth sharing, please let me know. Thanks again for your time and for supporting the channel, mate. And after about 2 weeks, this is what he said. Hello, Josh. After a lot of meditation, I'm currently reflecting on how deeply I want to explore and share the hidden secrets of Masonry. My heart suggests I tell all. However, this topic and my story holds many layers of mystery and tradition, and diving into it requires careful thought. I am weighing the potential consequences that might arise from being so open about my personal story and the details of Masonry. There are many circumstances that could manifest, both positive and negative, depending on how much I reveal. I hope you understand my need to be cautious and thoughtful in this matter. It is important for me to balance curiosity with discretion, respecting those involved and lodge members that surrounded my inner circles in Masonry. Sharing too much might expose me to risks, while sharing too little may leave questions unanswered. Finding this balance is a delicate process, and I appreciate your patience as I consider my next steps. And I said, of course, I understand the questions I asked were not lie, and I completely respect your right to refuse to answer any or all of them, or if you wish to redact names, places, etc. And I never really heard much from him after that until a month later. So we're now into, the end of October, and he says, sorry, bro, I've not completely decided how much I want to disclose yet due to my family well-being, but I will say this, to go beyond the level of 33rd degree Mason, you must burn the Bible, among other things. So like I said, that person is a fan of the show. I'm sure they'll probably watch this video. And if after watching this, you feel like you want to shed some more light or talk about anything that we saw here and maybe give a little bit more context, my inbox is open to you. And as always, we can be as anonymous or as private as you like with any of this. But guys, wild stuff today. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please like it, but also hype it. That really helps us get into the algorithm. If you've been enjoying Polarity, you can support the channel by becoming a member. It's $5 a month, and you get access to members-only live streams, members-only videos. You also get an awesome little badge next to your name so people know that you're a weirdo, and you get to hang out in the member section of our Discord, which is the coolest place on the internet. But by the way, Discord is free. The link is below. It's a lot of fun. It's active 24/7. We do movie nights in there. And honestly, if you're not in there, you're missing out. But let me know what you thought about this one. If you know any Masons, if you've got any insights or additional context into Freemasonry, get in the comments. I want to know about it. Go and check out Kyle's work. All the links for everything we looked at today will be down below. But until next time, guys, keep being good to each other. Be kind. Get outside. Touch some grass. Stay plugged. And I'll see you next time. Take care.